we got charged by a hippo. I mean, that hippo just came for us and we had no clue what to do. But this is the annual water birds count. Every year there is an organized count that happens, a coordinated effort between Nature Kenya, the museums, and Kenya Wildlife Services. And water birds across the Rift Valley lakes and selected significant water bodies across Kenya are counted. And water birds are basically birds that really rely on water, and they're very sensitive to the quality of water. So you can actually tell the quality of the environment based off the water. So I was invited by Fleur Ngweno. There's one of the biggest names in conservation in Kenya. And it was my pleasure to join her. So R.Tana is a very long river, and somewhere between Garissa, Tana, and Tana River counties, the flow of the water is very limited, so it creates a very vast floodplain. And in that floodplain, there are very many lakes. Some of those lakes are not known to ordinary Kenyans. And I organized to travel down, got some decent accommodation in a town called Minjila. And it was quite nice, really, oscillating between the bird watching and the hospitality within the hotel in Minjila. So Fleur Ngweno is quite well known, even in the villages. So in the first place we went, called Didawaride, the villagers were so happy, together with some of the collaborators of Nature Kenya that are on the ground.
My name is Adam.
So here, just before the counts, we introduce ourselves, and then we get into the thick of bird watching.
I saw you once.
Julius Mondire from Dakacha.
Dakacha Ulda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, karibuni, I think. Especially Bada.
So the bird watching in Didawaride was quite nice, and after a very long morning, the group made some chai for us, which was quite nice. And I think the one thing with that bit of the world is it's really hot. I mean, temperatures easily get to 40 degrees Celsius.
That is very nice.
It's a bunch of very energetic and happy people, so spending time with them is really nice. And as you can see, quite hospitable as well.
Next time,
So very high chances that I'll join the team again at some point, maybe in October or same time next year.
I planted. Morning, if you come here, you'll find thousands of birds here eating this. Yeah, they eat these trees. They are very enjoyable.
Yeah, so come and bee eaters migrate at this time of the year. These are northern common bee eaters, and they're everywhere. They're in the thousands. And it's so colorful seeing them in the grasslands and hawking insects. And then Lake Moa, which was the first lake we visited, white-winged black terns, Caspian tern, gull-billed terns, all, literally playing with the fishermen throwing bits of fish here, and quite a nice space. And then we found a zonki, so zebras and donkeys crossbreed to create a zonki. And that's Flo in the background saying, "Little egret one, the counting is going on."
Are they tame? Is it tame? Is it tame? Can I go near?
I think I've completely lost focus and really focusing on my lifer, which is the zonki. So the lakes have crocodiles and hippos.
Sorry? Huyu ndiye akona upgrade.
And then most of the time gunning back for Minjila. That's a bit of the main highway. We created a bit of time, and Fleur insisted that there's a really beautiful lake she visited tens of years back, and we decided to go have a look. So that's Lake Munuji, and Lake Munuji was quite nice.
She was sitting. Maybe they're hawking.
Because we found pygmy geese, white-backed ducks, and it was just such a peaceful, calm area with the ladies washing things and looking so energetic.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but most of this were also spawning geese. Yeah, but most of these areas were quite lovely to just sit and watch birds in their hundreds, if not thousands, just flying in and out. So this is still a section of Lake Moa. And that's the energetic set of people from Dakacha Woodlands, Sabaki. And then we got a shade at Lake Mnuji and just went on watching birds. It was really hot. The shade was lovely. And just looking at the different ducks and geese and moorhens was really nice. This is the kind of place that I would love to camp in and spend a day or two. outback decks. And those are the pygmy geese. They're quite far away, so I'm actually surprised at the quality of that photo. And we just had an easy time there. We had Marsh Harrier come in, which was quite cool. Yeah, and then that literally crowned the day. And after a bit of rest, the next day we went to a different lake called Lake Shakababu. And then at some point we found a museum that keeps a lot of the cultural history of the Pokomo people, the people of the Lower Tana. This particular area was a missionary complex built by the Germans and later on taken over by the Brits.
Oh, there's a tunnel
And that place we're looking at was a secret underground bunker where missionaries used to hide when things got a bit unsafe.
So to go to the tunnel, we have to.
And because we are unstoppable, one of us went down to kind of just have a feel of how that felt.
Quite a big snake in biodiversity.
The one thing you realize in the Lower Tana complex is most of those lakes I've mentioned, you've probably never heard of them. It's literally how vast the place is. Insecurity is a big concern, so a lot of checks by Kenya Defense Forces confirming that you have legitimate business within the area. There's a lot of migrant or nomadic or semi-nomadic pastoralists. So security is a big deal. And then the county is very big. And the centers are fairly dispersed and quite hidden.
5 meters by 2.5.
So that's a big. That's a big area.
Good, nice. Thank you.
And that's where the missionaries used to hide. So we spent a few minutes just enjoying the different details of the place, and then we move on.
So that's our transport.
So on the last day, we arranged for a boat trip, the boat and all. Some of that was facilitated by Nature Kenya. So we take the boat, and that's our boat arriving. So I'm quite happy that I've taken a boat in the R.Tana, the area between Bura down into Mchelelo, and I've also taken this lower boat. So I think what remains is the bit between Meru and towards Garissa. I'm a little worried about my back as usual because looking at this, there's no back support.
Yay.
And I'm still in the recovery phase. I think I'll only be fully recovered at the end of 2025.
Nadhani kubadilishia hapa zianguke kwa maji. Sio kwa maji. Poteza hizo.
Hold for me this.
Tena kumulike, utaonekana kwa YouTube siku moja, ujione ukicheka bila kutarajia.
You need more weight at the back.
Okay, that's familiar. Sitting in a boat. I think the only thing we're missing are life vests. And just as we're settling, we see a herd of hippos, and straight on, two jump into the water and come straight for us. You can see that coming to intercept the boat, and I think we've missed them by like 2, or was that 1 meter? That's the most aggressive hippo I have seen. That's actually quite scary. So, loads of Goliath herons as we're going down the river. And I'm still a little shocked by that hippo. Hippos kill the most people in Africa year on year, and you can actually see that. Yeah, so we are gunning for a mud bank, a mud flat, a little lower down the river, where there is usually a high congregating number of waterbirds. Note that this whole delta is an important bird area. So most of the corners where the water slows down a bit, there's good habitat. There's a lot of mud, which makes it super attractive for shorebirds. So what you can see there are spar-winged plovers. I don't remember the last time I saw hundreds of spar-winged plovers like this. It's actually super impressive. And then water thickness. Common sandpipers. Collared pratincoles. Black-crowned night herons. Cattle egrets. And then one of my favorite birds, Senegal lapwings. A shout out to the viewer who made me improve the quality of the photos. Bushes are a little scary because you think a hippo may just come out at some point. Yeah, so passing through here, we're quite a little tense, a little alert, considering the incident a few minutes back.
Looks like those cows are stuck.
Saddle-bill stocks. And then we finally get to the mud flat, the bank where we needed to be. But it's a very interesting place because there's livestock on one side, there's hippos on another side.
I don't think they're stuck. They're stuck.
And then there's loads of birds on another side. Yeah, so quite some muddy spaces.
Well, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hippos.
Yeah, then we go ahead with the counts. Loads and loads of birds.
See him hitting the water. And apparently that's the strategy for chasing
Caspian plovers, spar-winged plovers,
away crocodiles.
rough, and one of the birds that I really was looking forward to seeing and which I've never seen. It's increasingly hard for me not to see new birds in Kenya.
There are loads of hippos that
So
you've seen.
one of the birds I was looking forward to was Pacific
That
golden
one
plover.
looks like he's fishing.
But as you're doing the count, because the birds are numerous,
Yes, it's all
you have to
impressive
account for
visually.
each and every bird. And then somewhere in the back, of the flocks,
Traditional way of crossing.
yeah, we were able to spot that. But remember, there are crocodiles here and there are hippos, but that's how the locals cross. They hit the water, and as they hit the water, I think the shock waves scare the crocodiles, and they just literally just walk on the crocodile infested waters. It's very brave, very, very brave. But that seems like what they've done ever since they settled in this place thousands of years back.
Oh, we need KDF.
So that's how to cross a crocodile infested river. I don't know whether I'd be able to risk.
Oh, pelicans, a lot more in the sky.
Yeah, so the one thing I've got to admire is the huge number of livestock in this bit of Kenya. Very easily, most of the beef that is consumed within Nairobi comes from here. The numbers are very, very large. And then we get on our way back to the car. But I think overall it's been an excellent 4 days. Tana River is quite far. I wish I was able to spend a lot more time here. I've made a lot of contacts, large communities of people here who I could relate to both culturally and socially, friends at Nature Kenya, and a whole bunch of people who have the spirit of adventure and who could set out interesting camps that somebody could be able to stay in. So at Lake Shakababu, I have a plan to camp there one day. That's one of the areas we went to. And overall, the birding has been superb. In total, I'm seeing just around 160 different birds and a whole interesting number of shorebirds. Maybe closer to 50 different types of shorebirds. So, studying the big flock behind, as I said earlier, seeing Pacific golden plover, that's how it looks. Seeing painted snipes at least twice, I think that was really cool. So that was really, really nice. And I'm looking forward already to the next waterbird count in Tana River at some point next year, or just general birding within the Tana River area. It's been my pleasure, and I hope you guys keep on listening and watching the channel.